Hello and welcome to another video. What are we going to be doing today here at former Britain's Best Lawns? Well, the sun's shining, but there's some bad weather on the way. So today we're going to be talking about recycling your lawn cycle. So find out next what I mean. All right, so what do I mean when I say we're going to recycle our lawn cycle? Well, first of all, I'm going to split the season into 4 phases. We've already done phase 1, which was renovation, scarifying, overseeding, top dressing. Then we've got phase 2, which we did a few weeks ago. After the seed had come through, we went over with the scarifying attachment in the Alex Sterling. Well, today we're going to be doing phase 3, which is quite a bit more of an aggressive scarify. We yield faithful and getting some products on just to help the lawn get back to where it was, because we've had a lot of growth, a lot of rain, not a lot of sun, so we're on that edge of tipping over. And if we carry on as we are, we're not going to get a Brittany moment this summer. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do some phase 3 renovations, knock it back, get some products on, make it look beautiful again, and then once all that's kicked in, sun will hopefully be shining, and then we can get on with the rest of the year. And remember, it's 2 weeks pain for 2 months gain. That's the aim of the game. So let's get cracking. The first job we've got to do is scarify with the yield faithful. I've already cut it just to save me some time. So let's crack on with that, and then we'll get done sooner. I know what some of you will be thinking is, why are we doing this? It looks absolutely fantastic. Because we're just at that cusp now where it's been really wet, so it's not as short as we want it. It's just got a little bit away from us. It's still controllable, but I've just been cutting it on number 3 of the hater because it's been raining. So we'll just have a look closer. Just see it's quite long. We can still see the soil, but if we give it a scarify now, we can regain control of it. Because what we don't want to do is just go and put some feeds on here, let it grow again, because we're going to be walking on a sponge. So we're going to chop this back, not much, but just regain that control, get the feeds on, and then get back on with the cylinder mower, and we can get it looking like this, but at the correct height that we want. It's just a little bit too long for me, this. So we're just doing that. It's a bit of a factory reset. Like I say, hopefully Brittany can get on in the next few weeks, because we're fast running out of time. The season is fast approaching. Autumn. Okay, so well, I know what you're thinking. What have you done? Why did you do that? It was looking fine. It's got to be done. Don't mean under the illusion that like Wembley Stadium, the outside always looks like Wembley Stadium, but the pitch more often than not looks like this. It's not like match day every day. They're constantly doing things like this to it, and it's only on match day when they start to get it looking decent. But on the whole, it's constantly undergoing raking and things to get all the top growth out. So that's what we're doing here. So we can see we've removed quite a lot of stuff now, and what we're going to do is now we're going to cut it with the hater on 3. 2 things will hoover up what we've brought up, and because it's stood up the grasses on end, when we go over on 3 it's going to cut it shorter than it was doing before. So what we'll do is we'll get that out. It's already out, so we'll get this picked up, and then we'll probably have to go over with the scarifying attachment to pick the remainder up, but who knows, we'll find out when we've finished. Okay, let's just have a look closer up. Looks absolutely fantastic. Looks like groomed astroturf now, which is always like a backhanded compliment. But more than that, it smells absolutely fantastic. When you scarify, you get this lovely aroma of like cut through soil and roots and the thatch coming up. Absolutely beautiful. So it reminds me of spring. Closer up now, we can see those grooves. The Rotary's done a good job of picking everything up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the Sterling out, give this a cut with the cylinder, regain control at the height we want, and then we can get on with our liquid products. No equilibrium today, because this had a dose about 3 weeks ago for when the French TV came. So we're relying on liquids now because we've got that granular in the background. And when that's not working, we can put some liquids on just to help it through to that next release when the weather hits, when we get the water, which then releases the equilibrium, 50% coated, it's all water activated. So we'll just get some liquids on to back us up, should that not release anything. And that's got iron in it as well, so we're going to get a nice deep green colour. The Dan Summer Secret that is. And then we'll get on with what's the ultimate pack. Dan Summer Secret, Grace, Stella, Orbit and Slow Grow. Alright, so phase 3 still, cylinder cut, 25mm, we're going to regain control, and then when we put our feeds on, we can control our grass growth at 25mm, so that is the next part of recycling your lawn cycle. Okay, so that's the scarifying and cylinder work done. Now what I also mean when I say we're recycling the lawn cycle is that we're using the grasses that were already here to produce a lawn. We're not adding any more seed to get it thicker. We're slicing through what we've already got, getting rid of the old stuff, and then the lawn itself is going to regenerate new things called tillers, which are going to give the lawn back its thickness. Oh, fuck's sake. Yep. Sun cream fail, it dripped into my eyes and it stung like mad. Okay, so before I just get on with the product, let's just have a closer look. We can see now it's looking a lot thinner than it was before. All the grasses are pointing the right way, so we've got a really good cut. And yeah, it might not look as good as it did when I first turned up, but that's because the grass was really long and I just trimmed it with the Rotary to give that effect. Because we have more foliage, we're going to get better reflection of light. But now it's a bit shorter. The stripes aren't as pronounced in terms of colour, but I believe in the long run this lawn is going to be better for this. And no better example to see all the grass facing in the right direction is here in the shade. We get a true indication of the work the scarifier has done. And yeah, looks really nice. Looks like a mini forest of corn. Okay, so ready with our tank mix. Dan's Summer Secret, it's got double the amount of nitrogen in than Dan's Magic. It's also got iron in as well, and some of the plant sugars as well, which are going to give us a really good boost and fend off any disease that's lurking around as well. As always, we've got Stella, Grace, Slow Grow and Orbit in, and I've also thrown in some H2Go wetting agent as well, so we're good to go. Rain's going to water it in tomorrow, so I don't need to worry about that. So all that's left to do is to spray it and watch this lawn flourish over the next couple of weeks. Alright, so that's the products on. Now it's up to you to individualise the dose to suit your lawn. I can't put everybody's lawn on the bottle, otherwise we'd have a telephone directory on each bottle and we can't be having that. So individualise the dose to what you need. If you need to put more on, if you get any breakthrough growth, put more on. And if you're finding you're getting too slow growth with what you're doing, knock back. Next time go on at half rate. Tailor make it to suit you. So what we'll do now is we've finished here, we'll join up with Dan over at Steve's job and we'll see what he's getting on with there. Over to you, Dan. Thanks for that, Dan. You've done a great job there. Welcome back to Steve's job. What we're going to be doing here today is exactly what you've just seen me do at former Britain's Best Lawn. Exactly the same kind of technique, exactly the same kind of grass, other than this is dwarf and that's full rye, but still the same processes. So we're going to be recycling our lawn cycle. And we're going to be getting on with Ye Old Faithful on here first. I've already cut it, as you can see, just to buy me some time. So I've got a busy day on. So what we'll do is we'll get Ye Old Faithful out, give it the once over. We'll go over it with the Sterling again, with the outlet attachment in, the Scarifying attachment in to pick it all up. And then we'll see how it looks. Maybe give it a cut with the cylinder and then go on with the products as we did there. So time to crack on. All right, so we'll just have our customary walk over and we can see up close. Get you out of the sun. All looking very nice. So what we're trying to get out today is just this necrotic growth from all the rain we've had. It's got a bit sweaty, not much sun around. When there's no sun, it's just drab. We're not getting any sunshine on the lawn, which is drying it out, so it's just sitting there. but when the temperatures are hot it's sweating away, and then the rain comes and makes it even more so. So we're just going to thin it out today, but we're going to go quite deep with the scarifier just to alleviate some of that pressure, that disease pressure that's around. By putting those grooves in, the wind's going to be able to blow through, and it's just going to free everything up so everything feels better. So let's get on with that and then we'll show you the other side. Okay, so that's the scarifying done. Just one pass here. Don't need to do any more than that. You can see now we've opened up this soil nicely. So we can see the soil, get some wind blowing through there. Nice. And I always say it's like being on a bus with loads of people. Everybody's getting annoyed because it's so hot and everybody's trying to fight for space. And everybody gets frustrated and starts kicking off. Well, this is the same what happens in the lawn. The grasses start kicking off, getting agitated, but now everybody's calmed down because we've freed it up and all these passengers have got off the bus. So yeah, so what I'll do now is get on. I was going to go on with the sterling, but I just think I'll be emptying the box too often because we've not got any suction behind the sterling. We're just relying on it being flung into the box. So what I'm going to do first is, because there's quite a lot, and I can go on it with the Harrier 48, and this creates suction because it's a rotary mower, and it will jam it all in the back and we'll get more in on one pass. Talk about time saving, that's the way to do it. Filming from a new angle with the time lapse, and this is for one reason and one reason only. The sun is shining behind, and what happens is with these iPhones they heat up and they turn themselves off, and I carry on filming and they end up losing a load of footage because it's turned itself off. So it's just nicely perched in the shade, not getting hot. Okay, now you can see those grooves have really appeared. Now we've tidied up all the debris that's come up. It's like little cornrows, isn't it, growing in a field. Beautiful. So remember, 2 weeks pain for 2 months gain. I know it looks bad now, but in the long run, it'll do you a favour. And in a week, it'll just look like when we first came today, but even better. So you've got to sometimes, for the greater good, just take a step back, just take 2 forward. So what we'll do now is, I think I'm going to have to get on it with the rake, with the scarifying attachment in the sterling, because it's left quite a lot of debris around. And my bag was full there, but I just couldn't be bothered emptying it. I thought I could get away with it, but I've not. So we'll get that out and swap it over to the cylinder, and then that's this finished, and then we can get on with some fertilizers. So we're all ready to go with the sterling. Now if you're wondering why it's nice and shiny, is mine's just in for a quick service, so I've borrowed this one, so that's why that's shiny. Now what I have decided to do is, I just came across the brush attachment in the van, so I've never used that on picking up scarifying, so what time better than now? So we'll give it a go. We're happy with the amount of scarifying we've done, so we don't really need to do any more damage to the grass plant in itself with the scarifying attachment. So let's just do a nice soft groom over the top with the brush, see how we get on. Hey, do you know what? That could be my go-to tool for picking up scarifyings when they're dry. I think when it's wet, I think it could be different, but when they're bone dry like that, and they've been out for a while and the sun's dried them out, beautiful. So it's really done a good job, and it's actually done a bit of a scarifying itself and just got rid of some of the other stuff that maybe the ye old faithful didn't. So happy day. So we're ready to go on with some fertiliser on there now. So let's just show you in the box. We've just got all that up. Now if I'd have just kind of gone ahead, I'd have left all that on the lawn, and that would have just rotted down, got all slimy. So that's why I'm not a fan of leaving clippings on the lawn, because in theory that's what you're doing. people say, oh yeah, but it's protecting it from the sun. Absolute rubbish. It'll die off in like minutes. So I don't buy that. And all you end up with is slime, because grass goes slimy when you leave it. Not only that, if you don't pick your clippings up and you let the kids go and run on it, and it's just slightly damp, check your kitchen floor after they've done it. You'll wish you'd have left the grass box on. So we've got all that off. Good news. Beautiful. So we'll get on with some products. But what I'll do is first, I'll get this side done, and then I can spray all as one in one big tank and that. So yeah, good idea. Okay, so that's that side done. Similar thing on this side. This doesn't get as much sun, especially later on at night. This hardly gets anything, but nevertheless, still looking good. So we're going to be doing the same on this side as well. Ye old faithful, going into the soil a little bit. And what that is also going to do, it's going to slice through those roots, and we can thicken up the lawn with what's already here. And that's why we say we're going to recycle the lawn cycle, because we're just making use of the lawn of what we've already got. We don't need to add any seed or anything. All the patches we put in the other week, they've all filled in nicely to the point now where you wouldn't even know where it was. Well, maybe you would. That's one along the edge there, and there's one over there. But generally, I'm really pleased with how this one has come on. Alright, so we're getting somewhere. Nicely scarified this side as well. Look at this alyssum. Beautiful. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Not fed once, like directly. Just fed with the drift of the equilibrium. Makes a great plant food. Absolutely fantastic. Couldn't have asked for it to be better. Perfect space in between to allow it to grow. And just be absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And as you can see there, I've got into the habit now of charging, bringing the charger with me, putting it on charge. So when I'm just on downtime with the Rotary, I can charge it up, and then I'm never short of battery. What a guy. Right, time now to get on with the Rotary. And I don't think there's much come up on this side, so I don't think we're going to have to go with the brush. I think I'm just going to get away with going over it with the Rotary. But who knows, we'll see. Join us in a minute and we'll find out. Alright, now looking fantastic. As I predicted, we don't need to go over with the brush, which means it frees up time. We can get on with the cylinder and polish these tips up either side. So we can just transfer what we was going to do with the brush into what we can do with a cylinder. So yeah, look at that, looks like AstroTurf. Love it. Beautiful. Let's get some product on after that. Get it watered in a little bit. Plenty of rain due tomorrow. Beautiful. Look at that, 20mm reset. Alright, so now it's time to go on with our fertiliser equilibrium in the hopper. I've set it at 29 and I'm going to show you what to do. I use 4 stripes as my width of where I want to be, and I just hold this spreader, good forearm strength, and just do it nice and slow. If we start to push it too much and try and put the same amount over 8 stripes, we're going to get speckled in. So what I'm going to do is, just at this near edge, I just like to just put a little bit down and let go, and then it just gives me that access to start there rather than starting here, because I can't because of the road. So now what I can do is I can just start, push up, And I can see it coming out really even, going over 4 stripes, and just maintain that pace and keep your forearms strong, because if I hit any lumps or bumps it's going to throw me off, so I need to be in control of it at all times. So there you go, easy. I'll come back down, just do this first bit. If you're unsure if you've lost where you were with stripes, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, so I know this is my next batch. And I come down again, just keeping control with the forearms, nice and slow. Downhill's going to be a bit worse, so we need to just really grip on and use our thighs to slow us down. And there we can just go over and over like, yeah, you get some on the road, feeds the weeds up in the pavement, happy days. So I'll do this last bit and then we'll do the other side. Alright, so we're just about to go on with our products. Just like at former Britain's Best Lawn, we've got Dan Summer Secret, Slow Grow, Stella, Grace and Orbit, and I've added some H2Go wetting agent in there as well, ready to wash all that through tomorrow when it rains. So let's get to it. Alright, that's this video done and dusted on recycling your lawn cycle. So what I've got to do now is just wait for that rain to come. If I've got a chance, I'll nip back later and just give this a little splash. But if not, I know it's going to be raining heavy tomorrow, so that's perfect. Get everything washed through. As you can see, that iron already working in that Dan Summer Secret. So I'm really excited about seeing the results on both sides, because this is the first year that we've actually had both sides looking absolutely fantastic at the same time. So we're at evens either side. So that's great. So join us here next time on Daniel Hibbert Lawn Expert, when we will be doing, as always, something else lawn related. Bye for now. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you've made it this far. See ya.